Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. And I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. And it has been almost 4 years that I've been in business, running this candle business, and I have learned so much along the way, much of the information I've shared here on this channel. But I really wanted to condense some things that I thought of that if I was starting a candle business now from scratch, kind of knowing what I know now, if I was starting just let's say a brand new candle company, I wanted to condense about 5 things that I can think of that I would do differently if I was starting a business this year in 2024. The first thing that I would do differently if I was starting a candle business here in the year of 2024 is I would really be a lot more diligent and pay attention a lot more to just protecting myself online. So protecting my identity, securing my devices, privacy, all that kind of stuff. Because when you're starting a business, I feel like we can kind of fall victim a lot more to people trying to steal our information online. And apparently 1 in 4 people actually fall victim to an online crime. So that is why I am so happy to be partnering with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura protects your identity by monitoring your credit, your social security number, bank account, and any other personal information for suspicious activity. It also scans the dark web to see if any of your information is out there, and it automatically handles opt-out requests from data brokers who collect and sell your personal information, by the way. And because of Aura, I found out that there were 17 data brokers that have my information and they are selling it. And Aura is actually going in and requesting that information be removed. I really do love that it's an all-in-one privacy and identity protection platform, because as a business owner, somebody who has a little bit of ADHD and a new mom, I really don't have a lot of time to try to figure out all of these different, privacy softwares and stuff like that. So I really love that it's all in one. I have a VPN on my phone, on my computer, password protection, identity protection, my credit is protected. All of this in one platform is so nice. And it's really nice to know that I can now bank or log into my online bank in a not in my Wi-Fi. So, I'm here, and Wi-Fi, even then, I don't know how secure it is. I know people can hack into Wi-Fis, but specifically with public Wi-Fi, I would not log into my bank account at all. But now that I have protection, I know that I'm secure and I can log into my bank wherever I go. And you can actually get access to a 2-week free trial of Aura using my link, aura.com/memoryboxcandleco. You can also click the first link in the description box below, and I'll probably have it in a pinned comment as well. But this is seriously something that I do genuinely wish that I had in the beginning. It's not just because it's a sponsored video, but I truly only partner with products, companies, softwares, whatever it is, that I do genuinely think would be beneficial to my audience. So I really do think that you would like this. I also like that they have a family plan, so you can do an add-on and have more protection for your family. All I can think about is how much I want to protect my son in every way possible, especially online with how crazy online can be. So I definitely want to get the family plan option. So I highly encourage you to try out the 2-week free trial and get yourself protected online with how much sensitive information you have to put out there when you are getting started with a business. The second thing I would have done differently if I was starting a candle business in 2024 is I would have created some kind of business plan and just had some kind of direction that I was going in. I feel like, much like I've heard a lot of you say, is that you kind of feel like you're just kind of going with the flow. You're like, okay, I'm learning how to make candles and I'm choosing a business name and I'm picking the supplies to, put together to create my candle business. I'm starting an Instagram and getting emails, Facebook page, all this kind of stuff. And you're just kind of going through the motions. And what I really recommend that you do, and what I wish I would have done, is take a moment, create some kind of business plan. It doesn't have to be this crazy structured outline of exactly step by step what you're going to be doing to reach X amount of dollars a year or whatever it is. It could be small, and this is really just going to be tailored to you and your business. I always say, be honest with yourself and figure out what you are starting this business for. Is it side income? Is it to replace your full-time income? Are you wanting to create this really, really big business? Is it just for fun on the side that you want to do on the weekends? You know, if it's just going to be some extra money on the weekends, maybe a business plan would be to focus on vendor events, local markets, and really try to figure out what you need to do in order to get a plan in place, marketing, figure out where you want to go and how you're going to actually make sales, because there's nothing more frustrating than going through the, the skills developing process, I want to say, when you're making candles and you're learning that skill, and then you're creating your candles to sell. You put your candles up on a platform online to sell, and then they don't end up selling, or they don't sell as quickly as you would like. It can be very frustrating because you feel like you have a really good product, but nobody else knows that because you're kind of in this ocean of all of these other products out there. So that's why having a business plan in place is going to really, really be beneficial to you when you are getting started. And that's something that I wish I did from the very beginning, because again, I feel like I just was focused on kind of more of the more creative side. I don't want to say I was focused on the wrong things. I was just focused way more on the creative side than I was on the actual business side in the beginning. The third thing that I would have done differently, if I could go back in time, I definitely would have done this differently. I would have gotten business insurance and my business license right away. I got my seller's permit pretty early on, I think before I launched my business, but I waited way too long to get business insurance and my business license. Now, business licensing, I think, is going to depend on the city that you live in, but business insurance, I mean, that's just kind of like having car insurance. You definitely want to have business insurance. And I think that you should have business insurance before you sell your first candle. So definitely look into that, business licensing and business insurance. I personally have Liberty Mutual. It is a general liability policy with product liability on there. So it's basically protecting me. I think it's like a $2 million or something like that of like damages to somebody or their personal property or something from my product. So you definitely want to make sure that you have business insurance. It is extremely important. And again, I just didn't know these things. I didn't know these things when I was getting started in business. So because I didn't know, I would put it off and just tell myself, I'll figure it out later. I'll learn it later. You may be right there. You may be telling yourself, oh, I'll learn later. I'll figure it out later. But when it comes to that, I highly recommend sooner than later, when you're just getting started in your business, make sure at the very least that you have business insurance. The fourth thing that I personally would have done differently in my business if I was getting started this year is that I would have focused smaller first. I would have focused my attention more in my local community before I tried to sell to like all these people online. You know, online is kind of this infinite space that you're looking into, and you think about international shipping and what countries do I ship to, and shipping all around the country, and you know, there's just this huge space that you're thinking of when there is potentially an untapped market right in front of you of your local city, your local surrounding area. So what I recommend is that you join Facebook groups and you potentially get involved in the community, and you are telling people any chance that you get that you have a candle business, and try to get involved, try to maybe partner with local events that are going on, you know, be a vendor. That is definitely a good way to do it, but you could sponsor events as well, just to get your name out there. I think that that's something that I wish I would have started first local, and that's what I highly recommend for anybody to do when they're getting started, because it is a good starting point to grow within your own community before you expand further online. Of course, this is assuming that you have, you know, you live in an area that has vendor events, you live in an area that has a good amount of people living there. We live in a very populated area, a lot of traffic around here, so plenty of people to buy our candles. But we didn't start expanding locally until about 1.5 years into business, close to 2 years into business. So I highly recommend that that's what, you know, I would have done differently getting started. I wish I would have kind of dove right into the local market before I spent so much time with the online market. And the fifth thing that I so badly wish I would have done differently from the very beginning is when you are setting business goals, you take action on those goals. It's not just about the ideas. It's not just all talk. It's not just, ooh, I want to do this. Ooh, that's something that I'm going to look into. Oh, I have this goal that I want to achieve. Like, you need to take actionable steps to make that happen. So for me, I am very guilty of this. I have talked and talked and talked about a lot of things that I want to do, but I didn't actually take actionable steps to make it happen. Nothing is going to happen until you make it happen. So, you know, for instance, I have always talked on my channel about wanting to get into wholesale. I think I talked about it for like 2 years before I actually really dove like headfirst into wholesale and got on the Fair platform and spent, you know, probably, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, like all those days in a row, focusing on making sure that we are going to have the best shop on Fair as possible so that we could be successful. And it took me a while to realize that I just need to focus on one thing at a time. If we are wanting to expand in wholesale, that is the market that we are aiming towards. So that is something that I have set a goal in place for 2024, how much money we want to make, how much money per day, what we need to actually do to get that, and how to expand more, how to get more retailers to find us, reaching out to retailers, getting them on the Fair platform. There are so many things that you can figure out when you work backwards from a goal on how you need to actually get there and make it happen, but it's not going to happen if you don't take action on it. And I know it's scary. I know there's a lot of things that have stopped me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Like, I was just reached out to by somebody from the platform Whatnot. It's like the shopping app, to get on the platform, and I really want to do it, and I think I'm going to do it, and I'm nervous. And it's just something that it's in the back of my mind of like, oh, but like, what if I'm awkward and all this kind of stuff. I've never been good with live video, even though once I go live, I'm totally fine. But in my mind, I like psych myself out before I get started. So that could be possibly what you're going through with a lot of things with business. You kind of psych yourself out that it's going to be really scary, really anxiety inducing, but really the hardest and most anxiety inducing part is the lead up to something. And usually when you go through it, it's not nearly as bad, and you learn a lot, and you're actually able to accomplish your business goals and follow your business plan that I had mentioned earlier, when you actually take actionable steps to make it happen. I always love making videos like this. I think I make a video like this like once a year or something like that, but it's just, I always learn new information. I'm always constantly learning as I go throughout this business. And it's interesting looking back on my mindset from the very beginning 4 years ago when I got started to right now. It is night and day what I know now, what I would be doing differently. And it just all comes from experience. But my purpose and goal on this channel is to take my knowledge and experience and let you know along the way so that you have kind of a little bit more of like a leg up than what I did at the very beginning of my candle business journey. So I really, really hope that this video helped you out. Thank you again to today's sponsor, Aura. Make sure you click on the link in the description box below. It'll be the link at the very top, and that's how you can start your 2-week free trial of the platform. And with that, I will see you in my next video.